I'm a firm believer that whenever you do cross country, you're doing longer distances than whenever you do track. So it helps you build that endurance for just doing like a mile or a 2 mile, whereas in cross country you're doing anywhere from a 5K to an 8 or to 10K. So I definitely think it helps in the long run of things.
The transition was actually good since I don't run cross country. When we got into the sprinting part, during practice and workouts, my body started to feel better. Uh, the weather, got bad. It started getting cold out. But like I said, my body was used to me going fast and getting races over with rather than running for 30 minutes or 45 minutes and stuff like that. So, transition was actually good. It felt good on my body.
I've only just started running indoor as of last year, so I didn't do that in high school. And I can definitely see the pros and cons of it. The pros and cons of indoor would be, you have pro would be you have a shorter track, so you have like less to focus on. The races kind of change. You go from like the mile, the 1,000, the 3,000, whereas you don't have like the 2 mile and stuff like that. But then you go to outdoor and it has the mile, the 2 mile. I don't know if they do 1,500 and 1,600, but definitely I think I would prefer outdoor. Um, but the pros and cons kind of are the same. It isn't like there's too much different about either of them.
Some pros for indoor, the races are shorter. Well, some races are shorter. It feels shorter. Like the 200, it's only one lap rather than outdoor when it's like a curve and a straightaway. So sometimes it'll feel longer, and it's like mind over matter, make you feel tired and stuff like that. Some cons like the air quality in some of the auditoriums is kind of high, or it'll be too cold, and you can't really cool down or warm up and stuff like that. Whereas outdoor, it's fresh air. You feel the breeze when you're running. You have time and space to stretch, sit down, sit in the bleachers, lay down if you need to. It's a lot more space so you can see everyone at one time rather than indoor. You gotta walk to this place or walk to that place just to see your teammates compete in long jump or triple jump or shot put, pole vault, stuff like that. So you have time to like relax and just sit back and watch before your race or your event in outdoors. Um, that's hard. That's a hard question. Um, but I think I like. Mm, that's really hard. I don't know. I think it's equal, to be honest, because outdoor, like I said, the fresh air, you just feel free when you're running. Then indoor, it's closed in, so you hear everybody screaming and cheering for you all at once, and it just feels good. When you finish a race, you just walk over to your teammates like, yeah, that was nothing for real. But outdoor, it's like it's the same thing, but you have time to chill and sit down on the grass and relax. Then you walk up to your teammates like, oh yeah, the race felt good. Uh, but I think it's kind of the same. Honestly, I just like the run. I like sprinting, so everything's the same.
Our indoor season started back in December, and I think like the biggest thing that I can say that our teams improved on is honestly just the team atmosphere, the team culture, and just making sure we're getting around into supporting each other in multiple events. We've had athletes try different events throughout the year as we're building the program, and I think the support from their teammates has increased every meet. And I believe that that's what's really going to set the tone for us in building this program together. And moving into outdoor season, my goal for the team, as I spoke in our last meeting to end indoor season, was I want to make sure that team atmosphere and supporting everybody is coming into the outdoor season as well. Because if we're not supporting each other, track's sometimes a brutal sport, and I think that if you have your teammates' support, it makes it a whole lot easier. And really, my expectations moving into outdoor season is that our indoor season, we set a lot of records, but outdoor season, my goal is for them to set a lot of more school records, but I want them to be established records that might take a few more years to beat. And I think we have some people on our roster, like an Asia Hines or an Indira or a Mario that can really improve some of our records to make them ones that last on the record board for quite some time. I believe that we have to increase, as we recruit. I believe we need to increase athletes in all the different event areas. As a former coach at other schools and as a former athlete, I think the best part about being a part of those programs was having, a big male throwing program or a lot of female sprinters. And I think that, having all those event areas is eventually going to improve our athletes in individual areas and push them in practice and at meets and have that kind of support system in their individual groups. But I also believe that moving forward, it's going to affect our team scores down the road. I think now as we focus on individual success, if we get that in each event group and increase the numbers in those event areas, that eventually that it's going to show in team scores down the road. One of the things that as I look into the outdoor season, usually, one of the things I look forward to is, a conference meet, and, down the road, hopefully, that's what, Salem will be, tackling in the future. But the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is the meet that we'll be co-hosting with West Virginia Wesleyan on April 10th. It's a Jasmine Claggett Memorial Invite, and it'll be the fourth year of that meet, as a former alumni of West Virginia Wesleyan, as an assistant there in 2016, I was actually the one that helped direct that meet in its first ever year of existence. And then Wesleyan was gracious enough to allow us to co-host this meet with them because of what it means to me and what it can mean to help build our program. Being able to co-host our first ever meet is going to be exciting, and I know our athletes are excited to kind of put their name on a meet and be a part of the first team at Salem to kind of co-host an event. And there will be some teams from in-state, such as, an Alderson Broadus or Davison Elkins, University of Charleston, that will be attending our meet, and along with West Virginia Wesleyan. And, that will be a very exciting part of our program. The meet's named after Jasmine Claggett, who is a former Wesleyan runner, and she was one of the coaches when I was on the team at Wesleyan, and she passed away of cancer a few years back, and we've kind of named that meet in honor of her and in honor of her legacy at Wesleyan. And I know that when Wesleyan reached out to me to co-host that meet, we obviously wanted to keep that name and that tradition alive with that. So it's something that's going to mean a lot to me as a coach, and it's going to mean a lot to our program. So I'm really looking forward to that.